Hey, this is Anthony from RevZilla TV. We can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new REV'IT Galaxy H2O glove, available at RevZilla.com. So you heard the H2O. It's going to be Hydratex, waterproof and breathable. The REV'IT Galaxy H2O is a 3-season cold weather glove. But here's a showstopper. You're coming in right around the $100 mark. And from my recollection, over the last nearly decade, it's the first time I've seen REV'IT do a full gauntlet that's built for 3-season cold weather riding, that's waterproof and breathable for around that $100 mark. Now, there's a bang for the buck factor here, and you're making some trade-offs. You're gonna see some textile, you're gonna see a mixture of natural goat leather as well as some synthetics. But again, before you would make a step up near that 135, 140 mark, you're coming in with an option great for the commuter, great for the tourer, great for somebody that wants technical protection and all of the DNA that you get from REV'IT without breaking the bank. Now, quick note on sizing. And remember, when I say 3-season cold, I'm thinking fall, winter, spring. Lighter weight insulation than some of the beefier $200 gloves. But again, Thinsulate C nonetheless, which is going to be rock solid, and you definitely have multiple types of fleece lining that are going to insulate the air and trap the heat within your hand. Now let's dive into fitment. I'm wearing a size large. This follows the newer REV'IT fit scheme that we see them make much more consistent over the last few years. So that being said, a large in REV'IT is going to be more American cut, consistent with what you'd see from Icon, from First Gear, whereas I'm still going to be an XL on something like an Alpine Stars or a Dainese that are more European. Boxier fingers, if you have big fingers, don't worry. Again, they've gotten more generous, but it's also not a floppy glove. It does have a nice fit to it, and it has a nice pre-curve and articulation. Keep in mind, use the size chart. Remember, we're going to ship for free over 39 bucks, but also note, on a textile glove, there is some light stretch to it, but it's not going to break in the same way that leather would, so you're going to need it to fit pretty much right out of the gates. As always, I'd love it if you click our logo, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV, leave me your comments, your questions, your feedback on the new Galaxy H2O. Now, if we look at it, I want to call out one thing that jumps out to me immediately. And that is the fact that there's a new glove from REV'IT that has a beefed up insulation scheme, that has a beefed up protection scheme for another 40 bucks. You can go up to around that $140 mark and get something like the Sirius H2O, hard knuckle, hard palm protection, as well as a beefier insulation and much more leather. So if you're at that cusp of you can invest a little more, my recommendation actually is to take that step up because the protection scheme is going to be better and you get a colder weather temperature range. But if you're right around that $100 mark, this is a lot of glove. Now let's walk through the Nuance. Notice your main textile along the back is going to have a nice stretch to it. It's going to be basic. It has a nice finish to it. Notice REV'IT logo is going to have reflective. You see reflective on the back of the hand, reflective on the finger as well. Moving into the back side of the hand, a different beefier material that has some micro elastication that's baked into it. This is how you give the elastication without creating an extra panel or an accordion stretch. It's lighter weight, it's a little stronger, less perforation. Seesoft knuckle protection. Again, if you go up to that Sirius, you get a hard knuckle, but here you get a soft, very dense, almost temper foam style knuckle. It's not going to be as soft as you would think. It almost has a memory quality to it, but again, giving you a little bit more of a low profile design, and again, keeping some of the cost down. Now we move into our fingers. They're again going to be more of that stretch textile, and you're going to see this is where some of the synthetic leather comes into play. Now, 5 years ago, I would have said, if you see synthetic leather, what's going on? Why are people using a cheaper material? These days, I will tell you, even from the super premium Euro manufacturers, REV'IT, Dainese, Alpine Stars, we're seeing the cost of raw materials go up, especially leather. So on some of the gloves that are closer to that $100 mark, they're using complements of synthetic to work alongside with natural leather. And it's the nature of the beast. This isn't REV'IT cheapening out. This is allowing them to keep the price lower, and they have to make some trade-offs. Just keep that in mind. Now, it is PU coated, it is synthetic. The beauty of synthetic leather, it has no imperfections, but again, you're gonna know it when you touch it that it is a little bit different. As you move into the tips of the fingers, you're gonna see synthetic leather covered. You have some extra synthetic leather up the lateral side of the pinky as well. Now, if I start to flip over, basic around the thumb. Notice it's a textile thumb that goes all the way out, and you do have that visor wiper snot patch. Now, I have an early prototype. It's actually a late prototype, but if you look at it, this is the area that's going to wipe your visor and wipe your nose. It's better suited on this side of the thumb and up the inside of the finger. It will be moved there on the final production version of this glove. Keep that in mind, but I do applaud them for putting it in. It is a really nice creature comfort, especially if you're commuting in cold weather riding and you're going to see rain, you're going to see a mixture of conditions all the time. Now, when we move into the palm, notice the finger, it's touch tech. It's going to work with your iPhone. Again, a multi-touch device. That's a nice touch. Also notice this palm and the reinforcement is going to be goat skin. Goatskin has great tactile response. It has all the strength of cow leather. It holds up a little bit better in the rain. So when it gets wet, you're going to be good to go. And notice some of the styling details they've worked their way in. Now, if we work our way into the heel of the hand, the landing zone, it is a temper foam piece, just like on the knuckle. If you go to the Sirius H2O, again, you're going to get that dual honeycomb, that dual compound slider. That's a big upgrade in the landing zone, in my opinion. I've been down multiple times. I always end up hitting this part of my hand. So again, beefing up to that slider is something that's a good investment in my opinion. Now the outside of the hand, again, we're coming in around $100. This is synthetic leather and it doesn't go all the way down. I always like to see beefier protection up the outside of the hand, but you're making that trade-off around the $100 mark. You will start to see, though, as you move up the food chain, starting with that Sirius and working your way up, remember it's the Pegasus for the ladies, that you're going to see that great seam capture and full leather throughout. That is that big difference when you move into the higher-end REV'IT gloves. See full cow hide or goat hide throughout, and they beef up the protection. Double cuff closure here, single wrist strap to keep it in place, single cuff down here for over the jacket or under the jacket construction, and remember, you are going to have that Hydratex waterproof breathable H2O layer, which doesn't move a ton around, but allows your sweat to evaporate out through the glove, keeping you nice, cool, and comfortable. And I'm not going to take it completely off, but I did talk about the cuffs here. If you see that lighter weight insulation at the palm with this lighter weight fleece lining, and then on the back of the hand, I always call this stuff monkey fur. It's a little bit higher fill, a little bit raised. It's going to give you another additional wind block layer that also is going to trap heat in. Again, we see that in the higher end. Remember, this is using Thinsulate C, which is not the Thinsulate G, which is a little bit more technical, and you start to see Primaloft if you go up a little bit higher into the REV'IT range. So keep in mind, 3-season cold weather hitting a price point, but done well from REV'IT using some of their newer school technology. The next step in your journey is to click the info button. Read rider reviews at RevZilla.com. You don't have to take my word for it, nor should you. As always, we'll ship for free over $39, and if you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown of the new REV'IT Galaxy H2O. I'm Anthony. Subscribe to us on the YouTubes. We'll see you next time.